Hello again. So I am taking a little break and in doing another one of these sort of working out loud videos. And today I was doing a little work on a keynote that I'll be doing in a few weeks on hybrid learning. And generally, uh, in most cases lately, people are talking about hybrid learning in the sense of the delivery and that sort of thing. But as usual, I have a different twist on it. And so while I will talk about that in my talk, I was also thinking about some of the missed opportunities I've seen lately where there's all these wonderful disciplines. And this is actually one of the reasons I got involved with gamification was that there's all these disciplines that it uses and it pulls little pieces from here and there and puts them all together in very cool ways. So another way that we could think about hybrid learning would be like when we create hybrids of plants and things like that. And you take stuff from here and you put it together to make this new thing. Um, and so there's a lot of sectors that this applies to. So for years, some of us have been talking about, if you think about it, education and marketing both involve behavior change. So there's a lot of overlap. If we did like a little Venn diagram, we could find that space where things overlap between the two. And also just in terms of how people are consuming content. And so there's this discussion of, educational things versus entertainment. And a lot of people are now sort of in that, what do we use with, how much social media should I use? What type of social media should I use for educational things? And some people just discount the whole thing. And then other people are out doing these like amazing educational videos on TikTok or Instagram or wherever. And so again, this wonderful hybrid opportunity of here's these platforms and here's these tools that people are using as part of their daily lives and part of their entertainment, but they also will use them for educational purposes. I mean, YouTube, people are both likely to be watching videos for fun and, oh my gosh, something just broke in my house or something, and there must be a video showing me how to fix this. People do seek out learning in social media. So it's something to really start to, I think, talk more about in certain situations. And the fact that instructional designers in many ways are just content creators, and we can be influencers. We can influence for good. We can help to create good change and things like that. So anyway, that was the first part of the topic I was just sort of thinking about. But the other was another instance lately where just, the ideas kind of click together, and also gives me a chance to promote somebody that I just think everybody should be listening to. If you are at all interested in gamification and learning and things like that, if you have not already subscribed to the Professor Game podcast, uh, this is perfectly unsolicited. Rob has no idea I'm talking about him right now, but Rob Alvarez has done an amazing job with the podcast. He is into episode, I don't know, he's like in the 250s or something like that. He's been doing this for a while now. And full disclosure, I was on, I think, in year one. So I have been on the podcast, but he has had just, I learned something every episode I listened to. And recently I was listening to an episode and a topic came up that, again, it's one of those little things that I like to pull at those little strings that I'm like, ooh, I don't think people are like paying enough attention to that. That's really cool. And it had to do with, again, this sort of Venn diagram between education and entertainment. And the comment was about the difference in time between the two, and that if you're creating a game for entertainment purposes, you want people to play it forever. You want people to play it nonstop all the time, and that's why you build it. You want them to keep playing. If you're building something for educational purposes, though, we don't have the luxury of all the time in the world. The game or gamified experience has to fit within a certain time frame, and the goal really is to teach whatever it is you're trying to teach in the shortest amount of time. Quite often, that's one of the selling points of gamified learning is quite often you can teach things faster, and that saves people money, that saves people time, that makes people happy. Um, so to think about that, that's an interesting challenge when you're designing, is to think about the time frame that it really has to fit into, to achieve its stated purpose. So that doesn't mean that it can't be short and fun and entertaining as well as educational, but it is a piece that we really have to pay a lot of attention to, and see how it fits in with other things, because quite often if it's an educational game, it may have to fit in. Let's say if it's in a course or something, it has to fit in, and again fit into that time frame with all the other content and all the other things that have to happen. So again, just an interesting thing to kind of reflect on and think about timing and all that. So that's just two little sort of randomish thoughts that I was, thinking about today. So let me know if any of this resonated for you. Um, Let me know if there's other topics you are curious about that maybe I have some thoughts about, or I'll make some up. And until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.